Welcome to the Art Project. Thanks for clicking on my video. I hope this video is helpful. Yesterday I did a video on shading simple forms, and so I thought I would do another one, but this time in reverse. And we're going to be using the same spheres and cylinders and cones and cubes. So first we're going to start with a cylinder, and this time I'm going to start with the highlight. But I'm not going to skip the reflected light or the shadow or the core shadow. I'm also going to make sure that I get the table, and the negative space is going to take care of itself. So basically the biggest difference about what I'm going to be doing is that I'm working on black paper. This is just regular construction paper, and I'm using a white Prismacolor colored pencil. And so obviously what I have to do here is I have to work in reverse. Instead of starting with the shadow and working towards the lighter areas, I'm actually starting with the highlight and coloring in the lightest areas. So I started with the highlight and I made it as bright as I could. And just like when you're using regular pencil, you have to put down a little bit, and you can always add more if you need to, but it's hard to take it away, especially colored pencil is difficult to erase. You can't really treat it the same way you treat graphite. But I wanted to see if I could work in reverse. I've done paintings and drawings like this before. I've got another video I'll leave a link to somewhere here, and where I did a shell on black construction paper with white Prismacolor pencil, and I was pretty pleased with the way it turned out. After I did the sphere, then I went to the cube. I did the cast shadow, which was pretty much leaving it alone. I did the shadow on the cube. I made sure to get the reflected light, which is really always impressive. Makes your work look good. And the highlight. The negative space takes care of itself, and I didn't want to leave the table out either. So I started with the drawing that I did in pencil. Then I started with the brightest areas like I did on the sphere. That was the top of the box. I had the most light hitting it, and I was just able to almost color the top of the box in normal. But if you look at the still life, or you look at the photograph before this video here, or this part of the video, you'll notice that it is not solid white all the way across the top, but it's actually darker on the right. Then the reflected light here, being careful to leave the darkest darks at the bottom of the box where it is in the still life. And then I went to the table, and of course the table had a white piece of paper on it, but it didn't have a nice even light across the whole thing, so it was actually brighter around the box and got darker as it got towards the corner. Notice on these that I don't even have to touch the negative space. It's already black, and that's a good color for your negative space. It really makes the table pop out, really makes the shape pop out. Black makes the emphasis of the picture, which is the simple form, pop out. Again, this video and the last video are all about shading, and so shading is basically just a I guess the key to it is to put down the color, but not too much at one time. And by color I mean, like in this case, the white, or if you're using pencil, the pencil, but not too much at once. You can always add more, but it's difficult to erase sometimes, and definitely difficult to erase with colored pencil. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner of that cone, I got a little white where I didn't really mean to get white. Anyway, then continue to build it up. I continue to look back. Remember I said in the last video, the key to drawing, the difference between being able to draw and not being able to draw, is your ability to observe. If you can observe some of the fine nuances, like where the highlight is and where it gets darker and where the reflected light is and so on, if you can see that, then you're on your way to drawing. Now it takes a little while to get used to putting the values down in the right places. That's a matter of hand-eye coordination, and that's definitely necessary when you're learning to draw. But you can have all the hand-eye coordination in the world if you can't see and observe what's in front of you in terms of light and dark and shapes and curves and lengths and distances. And if you can't observe the information, then you cannot draw the information, no matter how much hand-eye coordination you have. Okay, so the key to drawing is in your ability to observe and examine the images that you're trying to draw, the object that you're trying to draw. You've got to be able to observe it. Now, you might say a lot of people draw from memory, right? Oh, that's true. But in their memory is a really good vision, maybe even memorized from the times that they drew it in from observation. Anyway, so that kind of wraps this video up. I hope it was helpful. Use it along with the other video I did before this one where I shaded in with regular pencil. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. If you got any questions or suggestions or answers or ways that you do differently, please comment down below. Don't forget to tap the little bell so that you can get notifications of future videos. And if you haven't already, please, please, please subscribe. Now it's your turn. Go make some art.